Good afternoon YouTube, and welcome along to another garage chat. Today's the 6th of July, it's a Tuesday, and we're getting ever closer to the 19th of July when all the restrictions apparently are going to be dropped. Although I think some are probably still going to be a good idea regardless, like masks in busy places. On my last checking I noticed I've got 97 subscribers, and I'd like to welcome you all along. I hope you're enjoying the content, and I hope to bring out even more for you to enjoy later. In the next couple of months there's a couple of things I'm going to be doing, one of which is my Scotland trip, as you know, in August, and that should be quite interesting. There should be quite a few bits of video on that. I'm hoping that's going to come out really well. The other thing I'm going to do is an alternative view of the Yorkshire Dales. I'm not going to say too much about that, but it's going to certainly be different from the usual stuff that you've seen me do as I ride around Pateley Bridge and Grassington and that sort of area. I have another idea which I'd like to try, and that is to do a tour of the landmarks of Yorkshire and things to look out for when you're riding around. With a bit of luck I should be able to pick out 3 or 4 different places and put some videos together for you. Now, I've decided that as I've been having some problems with my current TomTom sat-nav, that it's time to upgrade it a little, and I've had 1 or 2 recommendations as to which particular one to go for. As you can see from this piece of video, my current setup involves 2 pouches, one of which contains the auxiliary battery and a cable that runs from that to the secondary pouch where the actual TomTom sat-nav is situated. Now, what's been suggested to me, and I've seen a few people using it, is the TomTom Rider 550, and that's the one that I've gone for. I'll just get it now and I can show you it. So this is the Rider 550, and according to the details on the side of the box, it's a 4.3-inch glove-friendly touchscreen. It has TomTom World Maps, updates via Wi-Fi, has TomTom Traffic, it's a smartphone integration, and it shows windy, hilly routes, road trips, and various other things like points of interest. So let's get this thing opened up and see what comes with the box. So first of all, peel off all the plastic. Let's get inside this thing. Keep that to one side. And it says, "Congratulations, you are now 1 step away from your next adventure." So, inside the box we've got the sat-nav itself, a smart piece of kit which apparently is waterproof, so I don't need to have it in a separate pouch. Got a book full of instructions and details. Should keep me busy reading. And then we have the various fittings and connectors, lots of cables, more cables, and more fittings. Now the fittings are by RAM, so they should be fairly easy to put on. The connector is also ready to go. It's a simple situation of just plug and go. But when it comes to the actual wiring, I'm going to set it up so that it's wired directly into the ignition system. And one thing I'm going to make a point of telling you now is that I am not an auto electrician. I was once told by my teachers at school that when it comes to electrical work, I should make sure that I have both hands firmly in my pockets before I start. That's how good I am with electrics. So what I shall do is I shall give my friends at Dirons a ring and ask them if they can do the necessary for me and wire it into the ignition system. That way when I switch it off, it stays off and there's no partial drain on the battery even though it's not connected. So let's start with the RAM mounts and see what's in there. There are, as you can see, lots of various bits involved. Something that looks like a thumb screw. I think they used to have these in the old days for torturing people. And all the various clamps and connectors. Some of these I'm not sure if I'm going to need, some I definitely will. And lots of screws and fittings. So let's make a start. So the first thing I'm going to do is take off all the existing bits and pieces. So I'm going to switch off and disconnect the old TomTom sat-nav. Feed the cable back through. And then remove this pack, which has the power pack inside it and the cable. Then this pack can come off. And I can remove the mounting brackets. Okay, so first things first, this wraps around the handlebar. Stop it scratching. And then the U-clamp fits over it, sort of like that. You then have this post is held on by two nuts. And they look to be nylock type nuts. So once they go on, they should stay on. And once it's all wired up, that's where it'll fit. Now that was just a temporary fit, nothing's been tightened up. I need to put it all together properly now. So that basically is it. So the next time you see it, it'll all be wired up and ready to go. I'm going to give it a couple of test runs, but the plan is to use it for the Scotland trip, and it should work perfectly well for that. I'll sign off in the usual way by saying, look after yourselves, look after the people around you, and until next time, bye for now.